Hola Colchoneros, welcome to Atleti Fanatics. And as usual, I have with me St. Keeks. And what a start of La Liga season we're having. I mean, like, we still don't have any win. We have two draws, one loss. And I think this is the first time, like, I saw Atletico de Madrid having such a bad start to the season, which I seriously would have never imagined this start, to be honest. Especially the fact that, like, we played, I mean, the three teams we played, they're all like, I would say, bottom table teams. Like, not disrespect to them, but they are bottom table teams. I mean, Alaves, and then you see Elche, and then Espanyol. I mean, we haven't even played any of like the big teams yet, like Real Betis, Sevilla, Valencia, Villarreal. I mean, like, we're gonna play Villarreal soon, but maybe Real Madrid, Barcelona. I mean, it's still, I mean, Rayo Vallecano right now, like, they're emerging as a very, very decent mid-table team, which I think, or even Athletic Bilbao, and like we haven't played any of these teams, and we're already struggling seeing Keeks within the first three match days. I mean, I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Like, this is like the first match day when we saw, like, I saw a lot of positive with Alex Baena, Julian Alvarez, and then again we didn't take our chance, and then yeah, it hurt us, and then we conceded two stupid goals. The game against Elche, I would say, again, we created a ton of chances in the first half, but then again we just couldn't finish it. And again, it wasn't the same as obviously Espanyol, but again, like, we just again threw the game away, and the same thing happened this weekend. We take the lead, and we just can't really, continue with it. We concede within the next 5 7 minutes, which is again a bizarre. And then, like, when we conceded that goal, the equalizer, I knew it. The match is gone.
It's
It's gonna be
done.
one. It's
Yeah.
1-1 exactly. Like, it's literally the same. You can say a photocopy of the game against last weekend against Elche. We take the lead, we concede a goal within 5 7 minutes, and then yeah, that's it. Nothing else happens entirely, like, the entire match. There are no chances. Like, I don't even remember Oblak making any save, or Sivera making any save for Deportivo Alavés. I think there was just like one save with Sorloth heading, and then Julian Alvarez taking a shot. That's it. I don't remember. Oh yeah, Griezmann free kick as well. That's it. Like, Sivera didn't really have much to do. Like, we didn't really test him out that much, and even Oblak, he didn't really have much to do other than that from the penalty. That's it. So I mean, the way we've conceded these three, like, not three, we've conceded four goals actually in the first three match days, which is bizarre as an Atletico Madrid fan. No clean sheets. We scored three goals, conceded four, and then yeah, we are literally, I would say, in a mud right now. Like, we having such a bad start, and then it's just not normal. And I hope it improves, because again, like, we have very important matches to come, and like the matches that are coming up are like not easy at all. We have Villarreal, we have Liverpool after the international break, and like, what can even make it worse, St. Geeks?
Mm.
The injuries in for national duties in the international break. If anyone gets injured in international break, I mean, fortunately, Alex Banner won't be going, because again, he'll be recovering. And then again, we have the Argentinian. We have Argentinian boy band back, by the way. Just in
The
case, guys,
entire front three of
we have we have six Argentinian guys in our team. Congratulations! We are back to Argentino de Madrid. But anyway, St. Keith, what are your like initial thoughts for the game? And then we'll talk about the game in detail.
um, it just feels like it's the same kind of like it's a slimy feeling because it's like I feel very optimistic about the squad. I feel like everything I've said in these past two games, both preview and also the outcome, I do believe, which is I think as a team we are better than last season in terms of the overall dynamics. Yet every time I go into these games and I watch the game, instead of getting a renewed confidence in my feeling, I feel like there's a slight error every time. And it's like when you look at this game, Alaves didn't have any chances to really challenge us at any point in first or second half. we knew it was going to be a tough match, and for it to be decided in such an unfortunate manner with the penalty, for it to be in the same kind of, oh, again like this, like that same is a fragility towards it that I think
Yeah,
is
it's like like the only team we have to beat is ourselves,
a
because we
lot of
are the
times
only
it
ones.
happens like that. Yeah,
Exactly, like because the only thing we have to like overcome is again is ourselves, because like who's letting us down? Ourselves itself. I mean, look at the penalty. Such a stupid penalty. Like Solos was so lazy. I mean, like the first rule, it's so basic. Like, the first rule of, I think, like whoever has like played football, the first rule is always like, like whenever there's a ball coming towards you, you go towards the ball. You don't just stand
you
there
go for
still,
it, right?
wait for it. Like you go, because again, I mean, like Solo is playing at a top level. You don't wait for the ball, because again, someone will pounce on you. That's exactly what happened.
There's
And
there's
there are
there's
sick,
two rules actually, two rules that that one is one of them, and the other one is do not let the ball bounce, right? Those are the two
exactly.
rules,
But yeah,
and
we'll talk about this in the first half. Yeah.
so that situation with Solot is kind of frustrating because it is very clearly a penalty, right? No if buts or maybes. That is a penalty. But to me, it's one of those situations where it's like I don't like when those penalties are given for or against Atletico or any team, to be honest, because running in between is not like you're going to create a chance or possibly score, taking a shot on the goal. What you're doing is you're running in between a player and the ball, hoping that you get kicked to get that penalty. You shouldn't reward somebody for literally potentially injuring themselves on the idea of a penalty. And know you have a 80% chance of scoring on goal. That's nonsense to me. But
But
that
that's a
is about
foul,
the
actually.
rules of penalty, and we'll talk about
Yeah.
that later. I'm
I
more
mean,
concerned about
that's a foul anywhere on the pitch, to be honest. So like,
sure.
yeah, I don't have any complaints about it.
My follow up is just instead of that is more so why was Solot the last man after we finished that free kick? So we got past the corner, right? Say cool, but then Solot is the last man on our far post, who's making a clumsy clearance, right? Which is something to expect from a nine. Solot did not have a good first half or a game, to be honest, but it's one of those things where you sit down and you think to yourself, as much as it's kind of funny to say this because Longley's has had the most amount of penalties given against us last season. If Longley is in that position, does he commit the foul and think? I don't think so. If Lenormand is there, if Ruggieri or Llorente is there, I don't think so. And I think it's one of those situations where it's not so much that oh God, it's Solat again. It's more so why is Solat there? Why is Cardoso? Why is our DM or none of our centre backs there to cover for that? You know what I mean? That's more of the frustration for me because it's like that situation comes from for the third game week in a row, poor set piece planning and so poor set piece understanding. Because I read the stat earlier today. We have after the first three match days, right? If you look at the list of teams that have conceded big chances, there's big chances conceded. The one who conceded the least is Real Madrid with one, and the one who conceded the most is Barcelona with 12 and Girona with 10. Girona, rightfully, have lost all three of their games, right? Because even though they've conceded all these chances, they also are not very good defensively. Barcelona have almost gotten away with it because yes, they're creating a lot of chances, but they're doing something fundamentally wrong defensively. Yet Atletico are on the higher parts of the list by only conceding four big chances in those three games, right? Guess how many goals we've conceded in those four big chances we've conceded? All four, which is one of those moments where it's just like, oh, it's something. It shows something is fundamentally wrong at the not necessarily.
It's classic us. It's classic us. I mean, like if I mean, to be honest, like I'm just gonna give it to you guys. Like whoever supports Atletico Madrid, hats off to you. It's not easy. It's not easy. Literally, everyone in the stadium, everyone in the world, whoever supports Atletico Madrid, it's not easy at all. Because again, we are the unluckiest team in the world. We have these moments in the past, and like these things do turn up against us. Like we've been talking about this. Like for example, Rayo Vallecano. Everyone saw that match last night. the chances they had, they easily.
That could have
I
been
think for me,
four, five,
yeah,
one for Rayo.
exactly. That would have been 4-5-1 if they played against us. Those chances were going in the back of the net if they played against us. I just do feel this, like the teams, they turn up against us, but it's not the same against, let's say, Mallorca, or then against Real Madrid, or I mean, I said Mallorca because again Mallorca played against Real Madrid and then they
Right.
conceded within 2 minutes and the match is overturned.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But then, yeah, that's what I'm saying, because these things happen against us. No one else. I don't know what's the reason.
I think it's a
Like I said,
clear reason to me, which is this is not so much tactics because clearly, if you concede 12 big chances in 3 games as Barcelona, you are tactically doing something very wrong, right? But the difference here is part of it is belief, which is I don't think Juan Garcia is a better keeper than Oblak, but I think he's a very, very good keeper. And I think he's very close to Oblak in terms of level. Courtois is the same thing. But when you look at the belief of a lot of these teams, you go into a Real Madrid, like all of their lives, they've known Real Madrid and Barcelona as these two big teams, big, larger than life. They want to play for these teams because look at all these trophies and all these other accolades and da 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 da, da, right? Atletico is not talked about in that same manner. Athletic Club is not talked about in that same manner. Valencia, despite the fact that a lot of those teams that I just mentioned are in the same, are closer in bracket than people actually realize in terms of stature and history, but they believe that they can beat Atletico, and Atletico believe that they can lose. And when these two things combine, it kind of has a mental shift because if you look at Atletico between 2013 to 2017, let's say that 4 year stretch, we were 2 Champions League finals, 2 semi-final finishes in the Champions League, um, a league title, a Europa League. Um, what else did we get? I think we got a Copa del Rey
Super
and,
Cup,
and the Super Cup, right? That
Europa
is,
League.
we are undoubtedly one of the top 5, if not top 3 teams in Europe. And it showed on the pitch and off the pitch. People were scared to play us. We were not scared to play them. And it shows in these small moments where you see certain aspects. And it's kind of annoying to talk about it like this because I feel almost like one of those English pundits. Was like they don't show enough passion, whatever. But it unironically is that to a degree where when you look at players like Jimenez, who give you that extra oomph because it's like, oh yeah, it's Jimenez, the guy who's been known as one of the best centre backs in the world for how many years? Oh, it's Godin. Oh, it's Griezmann. Like these things matter because
And
when
we're lacking leaders. Yeah, I agree with that. We are definitely lacking leaders in the team.
right, and so not to get too lost in the sauce, to keep it to Alaves. When you look at the game, we got a moment to break the deadlock. We got Giuliano to do something special, and I think on review people were saying, "Oh, it should have been offside because of whatever." Well, we scammed them and then we lost. I don't know.
No. That's not offside. That doesn't make sense. Again, like if you're saying Juliana was offside, like again, there was keeper, there was a defender as well,
Yes,
and
because the defender behind the keeper
and then the second thing I would say is like Thiago Almada. He took a shot on the goal. He didn't intend the pass for Julian or any other player. He again,
right.
the pass came back from the goalkeeper. So in any sense, that doesn't make, like it's not. I mean,
I'm
again,
not
it's
gonna
not.
lie to
It's
you,
not like
Alex.
it's not
I
like
don't
Lamine
know.
Yamal. It's not like Lamine Yamal got shot down in the box with, I don't know what happened with him, and that was
Look,
given a
and then the
penalty. I
bar
mean,
and then the bar thing doesn't work.
and
But
the
that's not the
VAR
point.
wasn't working. And the
But
VAR wasn't working. I mean, Raspadori almost got pulled down in the game against Elche. Like you could literally see he was getting
that was a
pulled down,
penalty. I think
and
his
yeah,
problem
still
is
nothing was
him
given
making that
against it. But
pass is the reason why I didn't get a penalty because if he didn't make that
and
pass, you just have to give it. Right?
oh, no, I don't believe La Liga referees. I mean, they're like literally shit. I mean, like again,
But
with Barcelona, Real Madrid is different case.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But again, we will. I mean, I don't want to
We'll
rant
come back
about
to that some
referees,
of
to
these
be
days.
honest. Like, fuck them, to be honest. Like they can go back to the shithole. Let's just talk about the game.
Right. I see it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I offside is one of those rules I'm never 100% sure on. I so long as I know that they are online and these other things.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Do you remember the match against Feyenoord? Do you remember the match against Feyenoord where Morata scored a goal and again Saul played the pass. It got deflected from a Feyenoord player. The pass dropped to
Oh, at
Morata
home.
at home. Yes, where we won 3-2.
Hmm.
Morata scored. It was the equalizer, the first goal. Do you remember?
Yeah, I
And that
remember.
was that was given offside at first, and but then it was ruled out. Why? Because again, the pass got deflected from a again the opposition player. The same thing happened. Thiago Almada took a shot and got deflected from the keeper. Again, came to Giuliano. That's it. And that's the end of the thing.
Mm.
There's no build up to it. Like simple.
Okay.
If anyone's saying like some bullshit about it, like I don't know like if they've like played soccer or I don't know. Like you see a lot of things on internet. Like not everything is true, obviously. So yeah, I think yeah, for once I think La Liga referees made a good decision. If that went against us, like I'm telling you, I would have lost my mind, literally. But anyway,
Yeah.
let's just talk about the first half.
So the game itself, we managed. I think one of these games typically is Alaves is a typical team from La Liga. It's hard to break down, like Mallorca, like what do you call it? Like Osasuna and these other teams, but they're not necessarily very easy to break down for us specifically, especially, and they're not the greatest teams to play against, especially when they're at home. So for us to break the deadlock is a very special thing because we haven't scored against them in the last three away games we played at that time. So that means that you have a solid chance of winning the game. To concede a penalty 7 minutes later is frustrating
It
because
is. It is. I mean, it's one of those things like when things don't work for you, they don't work for you. Simple.
yeah,
We're having one of those moments. But anyway, let's just talk about the game itself. Let's just start with the starting lineup. So again, I mean, like we knew about the defense because there was a confusion between Longley and Hansco, and
we
that's
should
clear.
talk about this.
Longley started the game. Hansco was playing as a left back, which I think was not really a good decision to be honest. I mean, like he tried something. I don't think like it's
It's
gonna
okay,
work.
but
It was
yeah,
okay. It was okay, but like it's not like something like oh like it's working really perfectly. Like we're having that one of those like it's literally the solution for our whatever we're doing. But no, it wasn't that. But I think like I remember like David Hansko. I think like at the start of the first 10 minutes like he was struggling in that position because again he has played most of the games as a center back and then again he's not really used as a left back so like I remember like the first cross that was awful cross from David Hansko and then he misplaced a few passes and then as the game grew like he literally he became comfortable and like he was okay afterwards but I would say David Hansko as a left back good as an option. Like let's say if something happens to JD, like it's suspension or anything, it's a good as a it's good as an option. But no, I wouldn't recommend like for every match day David Hansko as a left back. Definitely not.
sure.
Longley, I think like yeah, he had a decent game. I don't have any complaints for Longley as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, but I think the defense, I don't have any complaints for the defense. I mean, I don't
I
really
would
have,
agree.
but again, I don't have. But midfield, Giuliano, and then again Cardoso, Barrios, and then Almada. Almada was lost. Almada didn't have a good game, I would say, as he
Hmm.
had the first two games, and maybe that's why we couldn't create anything because we are literally relying on Almada, Baina, and Julian Alvarez so much. If again Baina is injured, Almada didn't have a good game, and then maybe that's why we just couldn't create anything. After the first goal, I don't remember we us creating anything.
Hmm.
So it's something we have to look on. But anyway, that was the midfield striker again, Julian Alvarez and Sorloth. I think Sorloth should have been substituted in the first half itself.
I agree. I
I
very
don't know
much agree.
what I don't know what he was doing to be honest. Like there was this one moment where I literally shouted because literally it was a through ball. I don't know from someone. It was a through ball, and then he jumped. The ball was literally over there. He jumped. I don't know. Like
I know exactly.
any other striker would have literally, like maybe
Chance it.
try to take a penalty, try to like go around the keeper. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He jumped. The ball was literally under his feet. He jumped. Like someone please explain me how.
To me, this
maybe
is one of those
maybe it
moments
was
where,
a different camera angle. I don't know, but the way I saw it, like he jumped, the ball is literally like under
mm,
him.
you're right. Because it's like when you jump out of the way, you're scared of being injured, right? But I'm like, Sola has a fantastic injury record, and even besides that, if you can get a slight a push, you can get your penalty, and then you can put us potentially 2-1 up against Alaves, right? You jump out of the way of the ball, you don't take a shot, you don't try to push around the keeper, you do nothing. All right, bro. Like it clearly you're out of the game mentally, and if you're mentally checked out, that's okay. You can also check out onto the bench. That's how I felt at the moment. I don't think my feelings ever changed throughout the game, to be honest with you. I don't know why he played the whole game. I I don't know. It's like we'll talk about the tactical thing afterwards, but I want to continue hearing what you have thoughts on the first half itself for you. What do you feel about how
Yes, I'll go moment by moment. I'll go moment by moment. So again, I mean like the first, I would say like the first 10 minutes, because again like we showed like a lot of fight. We literally killed all those players. There were so many fouls from Barrios, Cardoso, from our defenders.
Mhm.
Like it showed like like we came with an intent. We showed that, so that was good. That was good to see. And then obviously and Giuliano was literally looking very sharp. I think like all that criticism for the first two matches, he took it, and he literally looked very sharp in this game. And I remember like when he scored that goal, I think like when he did that celebration, I saw some Alaves fans applauding him, because I heard some applause. Maybe it was from Atleti fans, but I heard some applaud, and like I saw some Alaves fans
Played
at
there
the
for
stands as well
4 months and
applauding.
he has that kind of support with his fan, which I think speaks to who he is as a person to a degree to get that
True,
support
and
from
again,
fans.
I mean, like it's very very rare, like when you see opposition fans applauding for a player. It happened with Griezmann last season against Valladolid, and with him with Juliano as well. There were some fans who applauded him, and that was really good to see. But Juliano was looking very sharp in this match, which was good to see. At first, I thought like like maybe like he was hearing news about his father, so like he thought like let me take things into my own hands. But yeah, I just couldn't fall off. But anyway, Thiago Almada, like I said, wasn't having a good game at all. Maybe that's why we were struggling to make chances. And then like this one thing, it really really like frustrates me, like how the fuck our opponents have much better corners than us.
Hmm. That's a
like
good point.
I don't know, like the goals like every opponent, when they have a corner, like it's literally a threat, and when we have a corner, like nothing happens. Like I was reading a stat, I don't know, like maybe 2023 corners, like we have 2023 corners without a single shot on goal. That is worrying. Like literally, who the fuck is our set piece coach, man? Like who the hell is he? What are we doing in the training ground? Like seriously. Barcelona, they scored from a corner. Real Madrid, they scored from a corner. Again, they played the pass to Alvaro Carreras. Carreras dropped a very good ball to Hoysen. Hoysen, like put the ball back into the 6 yard box,
Helps
and
that
Arda
he's six
Guler.
five. It helps that he's 6'5".
Yeah, I mean, like exactly, like what the hell? Who is our set piece coach? Like that is a very very worrying fact. Like if we're going above 20 corners without even putting a shot on target from 20 corners, that's a big number, bro. Like that's a very big number. Someone really has to work in the training ground for this. I mean, like I don't know what are we doing in the training ground, because this again, look at the goals we've conceded from the corners. Like this goal came from a corner.
Same.
Again, I mean,
It's
it was a
we
stupid
complained
mistake,
about
but yeah.
this all of the preseason. We complained about it last season. We complained about it this season. We complained about it so many times, and we keep saying it. It's so frustrating. You know what the most frustrating part about this is? Longley and Lunamont are two centre backs I'm not particularly fond of, and they had a really good game today, and it was ruined because of a corner yet again. And you can't blame them for the corner because the structure of that corner needs to be part of the tactics. And that is something that is about the team, not an individual player. Because yes, Solat made a mistake, but Solat should not have been there. So that means you need to go back to the drawing board and you need to figure out corners and set pieces in general. That Raspadori situation again with Espanyol, why like nobody really blamed Raspadori as much as we were frustrated in the moment because it's like Raspadori is 5'6", 5'7". That guy's 6'3". He's not gonna do anything. Like Raspadori's not gonna do anything. You know what I mean? And even if he did, that would be an exact example of him beating the odds rather than it being something that's supposed to be expected. It's not expected. He's not supposed to get there. Why are you having him at the far post? That is a problem of the system. You know what I mean? So, as you were saying, though, I apologize. I feel like I have to rant about this every week.
It's
Every
okay.
week.
It's all chill. It's all chill. It's all chill. But yeah, I mean, like, and then I mean, there were like a few good balls from Paulo Barrios to Alexander Sordot. Again, like I mentioned, the one he literally jumped on, and then there was some very good few crosses as well. Where I don't know, he just couldn't react. Like Sordot was moving like I would say
He didn't want to be there.
like a sack of rice. You know, like how a sack of rice is. Like it's big, heavy. Just you just can't move it. He was literally moving like that. Like seriously, like the entire game, I would say, like Solos was moving like a big sack of rice. Like he just can't. I don't know. There was like some moments where he literally had like like the ball was literally dropping where he was alone. He just have to control it,
There were
and
two moments like that in the first half.
he was literally he was missing the headers on those as well. It was I don't know. Solos had a very bad game. Like I said, he should have been taken off at halftime. Bring on Raspadori, give him chance. I don't know.
I I mentioned it. I think I tweeted it out where I said that first half was dreadful, but it's not just bad. It's like that is a first half to get you transferred out. That was a genuinely horrifyingly bad first half. Knowing that the transfer window is still open, you can't play like that. You're putting your job on the line with that kind of performance. In my own, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's not. I mean, again, like you have to like work for it. Like seriously, like, and then you like complain about like, oh, I'm not getting minutes. Like maybe I should put in a transfer request or whatever. That's bullshit, man. Like you literally have to work for it. Like, who do you think you are? Like, it's Atletico de Madrid. You have to run in this team, and you have to like like make you have to play for the badge first of all. And Solot didn't really look like a player. Solot looked like a very mediocre. Solot for me looked like I don't know if you remember. Do you know Laren at Mallorca?
Oh, Kyle Laren at Mallorca. Yeah, he was great in Valladolid. My word, Mallorca not so much.
Exactly. He literally made me realize that kind of player. Or I don't know. Bora Iglesias played much better than Solot in the Celta Vigo match. Like I can literally name players. Just Kike Garcia is playing much better than Sorloth, and this guy is 40, literally.
Nah, he's not that old,
But
but he's cool. He's getting there. He's getting there.
but seriously, anyway.
I felt that way when we played against Elche. I was looking at Alvaro Rodriguez, and I was like, that guy would probably fit our system better. He's a Real Madrid academy player who Elche just bought. He's like 20, 21. And I just like, why don't we have somebody like that in our forward line? Like he does
I mean,
everything I said he was doing well in preseason. The link up play, caring a little bit more, showing that he has some of the fundamentals. None of it has shown so far this season. None of it.
I think those 4 goals in Real Sociedad and then the hat trick against Girona. It's really hurting us right now. Maybe we would have gone for a striker if those goals didn't happen. But anyway, I think, and then Diarra on the left hand side, like like I think like, I don't know what happened. Like for a few minutes, he was literally going after nutmegs for Giuliano. He was going after nutmegs after nutmegs. But yeah. Anyway, that's just for me for the first half. There was nothing much to be honest, other than Sorloth again jumping and just can't control the ball, letting the ball bounce, whatever. Because again, we did give him service. He just didn't take it, and the Spaniel just again they have just one penalty chance and then they took it, and that's it for me for the first half. And again, for everyone who's watching us right now, do let us know your opinions about the game. What do you think about the game? And do let us know in the comment section. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And because again, we are on a race for 500 subscribers, so help us reach that goal. So yeah, so smash those buttons just like Solot is smashing those misses exactly.
He's smashing my hopes and dreams. That's what he's.
Exactly.
Uh,
But yes, in case, yeah, go on. What are your thoughts on the first half?
I think I feel like I would like instead of just piggybacking, I want to talk. I think tactically, I think it was a mistake on Simeone's part because I think there's a few things that I don't like about what happened in that first half. Oof, oof, excuse me. There's two things, right? One, the Hanko switch to the left back. I see the idea of it and the reason why he decided to do it because clearly he saw in the LJ game, Hanko is very offensively inclined while also being very good defensively. So he thinks,
He's
well,
mature and like he's very mature as well. Like he showed in the game, like he was very like he was dealing very calmly. You can see that matureness in the game.
right. And you saw also with Slovakia in the Euros as well last year, where he could do a very good job at left back. But the difference is, I think when you look at what Atletico need from their fullbacks and what Hanko can provide for us as a fullback, it's two very different things, especially at the left back position. Llorente can bomb up and down forward, but a lot of times he doesn't necessarily go too far past the first half line because he's usually sitting back and the left back is usually further forward to compensate for the attack, right? Hanko would be a better suited left centre back in a back three, where he can be offensively minded while also being able to do his role as a centre back. We do not have enough centre backs to do a back three, even with Pudil in the equation, because we have five centre backs. And I think Jimenez is injured. Longley is not good in a back three, um, and then Pudil is new to the role, meaning we don't want to really risk a whole formation around a player who has now started doing something. So you can't. There's no assurances with the back three that you can get. And I think also what you kind of do when you change Hanko with Ruggieri is you put Longley as a centre back. And while Longley had a good game, and I don't think you can really say he put a foot wrong at any point in time in the game, him or Lonomar. The difference is you get to see is Hanko is more than Longley as a centre back in general. He can do everything Longley does while also being able to provide more link up play, being able to show attacking prowess, being able to have that ball over the top, as we saw in the LJ game. And as a result, when you put him in a different position and you put Longley there, you see these sheer levels of inferiority in comparison to the players. There's levels to him. And then you take away Ruggieri's innate ability as a left back to be able to link up and be on that wide play where you can cross in easily. And it now also affects Almada because Almada does not play if there's no runs in front of him. But you see it in Argentina, whereas in these games where things are slow is when Alvarez can't make the runs, where Juliano can't make the runs because they're double or triple teaming both of those set players. And usually one of the left backs or the midfield is injured. Now the whole situation is just a stalemate. So Almada is now negatively affected. Hanko can't apply his full strengths. Longley, while doing a fairly decent job, you can see why he's still just a bench player for us. You kind of change the dynamics of what you fix what isn't broken about the left side. And as a result, you end up with a very broken left side because nothing was wrong with it. And the less chance creation you have, as a result, now you have problems as we are about to try and challenge Alavés. I also don't like the fact that we're very focused on trying to get a lot of chances to Sorlot instead of Alvarez over these three games. I'm not sure what, except the first game at Espanyol, we haven't really done an Alvarez-centric attack. And I'm not sure that is. I've seen Alvarez subbed off any more in these last three games than the entirety of last season. I don't know what that's about. You know what I mean? Like,
I think maybe he's like saving Alvarez from, I don't know, like maybe some injury or anything, or maybe he saw something, because again against Elche we were trying to, like, when Sorlot left, like we were crossing the ball much better, but then again Sorlot wasn't there, and this time we kept him
you know what I
there,
mean?
and again we did spam him with crosses, but like he didn't do shit. So yeah, again it's literally the same thing.
Sorlot isn't even
But
necessarily good aerially in the first place, right? He's tall, yes.
exactly. I mean, like, how the fuck he's not good aerially? Like, I don't
Some
I don't
players
get
are
this.
look. I'm tall-ish. right? But I'm really bad in the air, which is so when I'm playing with my friends, right? I try to not make sure it doesn't bounce. So I try to control the ball instead of just hitting it with my head because I'm really not good with judging it from like on top now.
Okay,
But
so you're literally the long leg for your team. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not a professional footballer. Ease me up. but but the idea is the difference is sort of like a when you look at Solot and you look at the strategy of trying to cross into the box with Ruggieri, Giuliano, or say even Gallagher at times, right? On the right hand side and these other things. It's not a bad idea unless you have the understanding that we already all have. Solot is not good against aerially. He scored about 3 or 4 goals from headers last season. That's it. Out of how many crosses did we give to him? In the Sevilla game, in the what do you call it? In the Rayo game, where he could have scored 4 goals, so he scored one. And like I don't need to continue listing it. The strategy comes from a premise that doesn't make sense to me because you already know better. We have brought in Raspadori to link up with Giuliano and almost emulate the Giuliano, sorry, not Giuliano, Julian and Griezmann front two of last season. Why are we still doing a solo thing, knowing full well that the whole plan around Alvarez being the nine? If you feel me.
I think right now Simeone is still trying to, I think, like check what works for Atleti right now and what doesn't work for Atleti right now. Like we saw this last season as well, where again we had a very slow start, where we didn't look like a good team at all. I think like we're having that kind of start. But anyway, let's just talk about the second half. So I mean, there was nothing to be honest. There's nothing in the second half. Like there was, I mean, like one incident happened in the stand, and like the game was again paused, and then I'll just start with the substitutes actually because before the substitutes nothing happened. There was nothing to talk about. But the substitutes again, I mean, it didn't really make sense to me to be honest at first because again you're substituting Giuliano, Johnny I can understand because again talking about Johnny, he's struggling with discipline I would say. uh,
Yes,
he, he took a yellow card and then he couldn't tackle at all, and then
this
we
is
could
scared
see
for the potential
exactly,
penalty.
yeah, exactly. So I mean Johnny has to work with his discipline definitely, and it wasn't even a very dangerous play where he took the yellow card, like where he
But
held the
we said there's 2 rules. One, you move to the ball, don't let the ball come to you, and then two, don't let the ball bounce. He let the ball bounce, and you
yeah,
effectively allow the player to
yeah.
potentially go past you and get a stupid yellow card.
Exactly, like he's struggling with discipline. So again, that's one thing to look for. And then he couldn't tackle at all the entire game, and then obviously, and then we just couldn't win those balls. So I think like he was trying to tackle like where he was confident, like yeah, I'm gonna get the ball. Otherwise, he just couldn't tackle at all. And then again, like so, that's something I think Johnny should improve for me, getting those useless yellow cards. And then Johnny was subbed off, and then Julian Alvarez again. Julian Alvarez, I think, like I said, like it didn't really make sense because again like you need your best player to be on the pitch, like when you need a goal. So
Clearly,
that
right?
doesn't make any sense, right? And
It's
but
not just that though. It's not just that we need our best player. Solid had a horrid first half. Why would you take off the worst player, the better player, and keep the worst player on?
exactly that didn't make any sense to me. But anyway, Almada, that was I can guess because Almada wasn't having a good game at all, and maybe that's why like we were struggling to create any chance.
That's the guy I know. That's the Almada I knew from Liana and Bahrain.
And then David Hansko didn't make any sense to me at all because I thought like maybe Longley would go off and then David Hansko would go to centre back position and then Ruggieri will come to the left back and David Hansko went off, which didn't make any sense to me at all. But anyway, we move on, and so again, so Griezmann came on. Griezmann looked pretty decent to me the first few minutes. Griezmann looked very decent after like again he started doing the stupid crosses, but at the
Yeah,
first like Griezmann looked very decent. Ruggieri came in. Ruggieri was I would say okay. I would say the same. He was okay. And then Raspadori, I didn't see Raspadori at all. I didn't see Raspadori
I,
at all in the game.
I forgot he came onto the pitch, to be honest with you.
Exactly, I didn't see Raspadori at all. Gallagher had a good game coming off the bench. I would say Gallagher was again full, like he was full with energy and everything. He won us few balls, so Gallagher was good. But anyway, so now the substitutions are in again, and then we have the 75th minute where we have, I think, like the second shot on target, maybe I guess. That was again that cross from Griezmann, where Sorloth again cross from Griezmann, and then Sorloth again headed, and then it was a save from Sivera, which is again I think a very normal save, to be honest, nothing extraordinary. And then
I think that's the part that frustrates me most about Salah. You know, it's not just that he's tall and he could easily get to the balls if he wanted to. It's just even after he gets the header onto the ball, it's always right at the keeper. Never giving the keeper any sort of trouble. It's just like the keeper, if he misses that, then that's on you. That's not like,
that's true, that's true. And then again, I think it was from the same corner where Griezmann hit the post.
yes. I don't know. I was confused. I was like, did that happen? Or how did he do it straight out, or was that an open goal? Did he just miss an open goal? I mean, he did a
No,
goal.
there were two defenders on the line, so
I don't know if it
that
was.
was a very difficult one. That was a very difficult one. But yeah, hit the post. That was a very difficult one, to be honest. So yeah, he hit the post, and then again, Sorloth was just jogging, literally jogging. He wasn't pressing anything. Again, like there were balls fed to Sorloth, and he was just jogging. It was a very bad game from Sorloth. And then there was this moment I remember. So it was a Gallagher won the ball, and that was such an impressive win. He won the ball. There was 4v4, 4v4.
It's a beautiful pass there, Griezmann. Cutting.
Beautiful pass to Griezmann. I thought Griezmann will shoot, and then what did Griezmann do? He put a stupid cross. Is nowhere
Right
near
off.
Solo. Nowhere, nothing. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, Griezmann was good until that moment.
Yeah.
Griezmann was good until that moment. And then there was one more opportunity where again we were trying to link up play, and then I think it was Koke who played the ball to Lorente. Lorente had the same chance as Giuliano had in the first half. The same chance from the left foot, and I don't know what he does. He literally does like like how women fat, like a scoop, like lack of energy. They didn't really have anything. It's like I don't know what to say about it. Like Lorente again, Lorente is going through the same virus as Griezmann. He has to cut his hair. Seriously, it's the same virus
Oh,
as
by the way,
Griezmann.
did you see Griezmann?
He cut his hair. He cut his hair. We're gonna come back to his hair. Griezmann cut his hair. Finally, we're gonna come back to that. But yeah, he's going to the same virus. And Julian Alvarez again. He hasn't been the same ever since he started wearing the headband as well. I'm telling you this. I'm telling
You're
you
against
this.
long hair, and both of us have long hair. All right. Okay.
Exactly. He hasn't been the same as well, Julian Alvarez, ever since like he started wearing the headband with the long hair again. So it's a virus. We need to get it off from
Okay.
Atletico de Madrid. But anyway, and then that was it. I think Lorente chance. That's it. And then again,
Not
Alaves
much
players
to
were
talk about
again.
the second half. It's just the problem is just the substitutes confuse me because it's like, okay, well, we figured out, yeah, Hanko left back, not ideal. Let's keep him at centre back. Instead of doing that, you take him off the pitch, and I'm like, oh, okay. You take off Alvarez. I don't know why. You take off Almada. That makes sense. You know, Griezmann did okay in his position. Um,
Again, yeah, back to the point. I think Griezmann is much better. Like if we drop him in midfield, I think like in this game, in the second
yeah, I
half,
agree.
where he was dropped in midfield, he looked much better in midfield, other than like being up front. So but yeah, he had his bad moments. But yeah, and then again, Alaves players, I think the last 10, 15 minutes, Alaves players were just wasting time. It's like small touches, and they were
Fine.
literally small touches. They were
Hey,
going to the ground
they
like so
want a
easily.
point. They don't believe that they can score on us. They did not create
I
any real chances for
exactly.
us.
I mean, it's very frustrating to watch, and especially like those fucking assholes, the La Liga refs. So
So you
you
mean the
give
weak
50,
challenges that you give away for nothing?
you first of all you give fouls on weak challenges. Second thing, there is 15-minute time added on, right? 15 minutes. In those 15 minutes, there were substitutions, there were injuries. They didn't add any time. to that 15 minutes. Like, how can you do that? Like, do you think like those 15 minutes gonna be like easy, like
think
full,
I
like
think that's
like
because of
full
TV.
flowing game?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that's a TV issue because the longer football matches go on, it's a problem for like actual TV. So that might literally just be you can't have it to 120. Like that's just like a thing. So they just said no to that.
It's
That's my
still
personal belief.
it's 105 minutes. Like the game, it was like total 105 minutes. Again, you can give I think like extra 3 4 minutes to it because again there were substitutions, there were injuries. He didn't add any minute to it. Like which again even the commentator said like oh like he's gonna finish like right now because again the commentator was saying like no maybe the game would go like until 110 minutes.
My frustration
And
with that disappeared because I genuinely did not believe Atletico were going to score anyway.
still like at least like play your part like still fine like like I mean like our hopes are already broken still like play your,
Let me
the
give
referees
three
should play
more
their
minutes
part
of it.
and the referees should play their part like like but yeah again I think that was I think like we lacked creativity for sure like I think this was one of the worst matches I've seen for this season for sure
it's
but yeah.
it's frustrating in a way because I think this is a game just like all of the two previous games. This is a game that you could have
But
easily
again, in
taken.
the previous two games, we at least we created chances. We missed the chances, sure. Like we didn't even create anything in this game. Just for that Lorente miss,
But that comes from
that
the same tactical thing that we mentioned. You change the dynamics. You change what was good about the left hand side. Nothing changed about the right hand side, and it got better because it was just a form issue, right? So Giuliano played a lot better. Virus was very good as he started. Is this his first start?
I think he played the whole game.
Yeah. So nothing changed about the right hand side, but the form was a thing, and they got better. You change the left hand side, obviously it's going to get worse. If you got the first solution was perfect, and then you make it worse, then obviously things are going to get worse. So
True, but yeah, same case. Yeah, tell me about the second half. Make it brief because again, we have a
we
lot to
have
talk about.
it's
We have more to talk about. Go on.
there's not much to talk about. There's not much events that I can really talk about that's different. I don't understand the idea of I trying to feed Solat, who was buying away the worst player on the pitch today. So if that is the case, I don't know what you really do on that. I think you as much chance as you want to give and as much you want to please a striker who you think maybe could give you more. If he doesn't give you more, he isn't going to give you more, right? I think this is one thing that I've never liked about Simeone, which is he likes to play players into form, and it always comes at the cost of points. 22-23 season, 19-20 season, I could go on. But it's clear this is not the plan A. We will get better from this. I still think and I believe the plan A for Atletico has been better overall. I don't like the squad, but plan A has gotten better. And the player that we got that we're about to talk about, right, may fix some of our issues because he is very good in the air. But that's it for the second half. Alex, take it away. We have a new Atletico player.
So yeah, like Saint Kicks mentioned, guys. So we have again, so it's deadline day, and we have again, so the talks were going on for weeks and weeks and weeks. This is the first time in this transfer window where we actually buy a player with whom we had talks for weeks and weeks and weeks. Because again, the trend for this transfer window for Atleti was like like the talks were going for weeks and weeks and weeks. We move on from that guy, we buy someone else, and it was like so rapid within a day or two.
Hmm.
This was the first time where we had like the talks are going for weeks and weeks, and we finally have the guy. So we have finally Nico Gonzalez from Juventus for a 1 million loan fee, which I don't mind at all because again we didn't sell anyone perfect. Now the obligation to buy is 33 million. Are you fucking kidding me? Like what the fuck? Like seriously,
And we
what
have
the
to pay
fuck?
another million on top of that, so the full operation is probably 35 million, which is not ideal for Nico Gonzalez.
Exactly, like what the fuck? Like 35. I mean like fine, like maybe like you made that late run for him, like 1 million loan fees.
It's
Totally
option
like fine
until
with
it
me.
becomes obligation, right?
Yeah, and that reminds me of that like that cameo Griezmann used to have that 60 minutes in and he used to come on.
Hey, if there's a club to scam a club, it is Atletico Madrid. So I don't
exactly.
believe in that obligation to buy. Let's see what happens.
Exactly, because I won't be surprised if we make that 33 million to 15 million pretty fast. But yeah, 33 million. I think I again, like we've discussed about this, guys. I think like there were much better options for the right wing than Nico Gonzalez and the Millet for one. Again, 20 million, easy signing. Second, Kang In Lee from PSG, easy signing. Luke Bakio literally went for 22 million
To Benfica.
to Benfica. 20 million, Luke Bakio, perfect, tall, good dribbler. He has good
Doesn't fit
pieces
the
with.
profile of this summer, buddy.
Yeah, because he's black. He's black. Yeah, there you go. But anyway, we move to
Not
next
Argentine.
one.
Not
Yeah,
white.
Luke Bakio, and then there were more. Edin Zerkova, the player Juventus used to replace Nico Gonzalez, is much better than the player like we
As
are
a
getting
drib-
from Juventus.
so this is the part that I think is the confusing part for me, right? As a dribbler,
And
you can.
again, from for 20 million as well. Zerkova is
I
going
think
for
it's
20 million. I think it's 20 with add-ons and everything. It's 20 million.
okay, but Sakharov was one of the better dribblers. He scored on us last season. If you remember in the
Yeah,
Champions League, in the game that we
exactly. With
really should
that
have won
deflection,
because
yeah,
of the forward
deflection.
missing a ton of chances again. But he was very good in that game. I don't like the phantom penalty that we got. I don't like the unfortunate rebounds that we got in these other things. But Zigrova was good.
That was a deflection as well. I don't know. Ronaldo, was it Ronaldo?
Jimenez, no, Ronaldo was the third one, and Jimenez, I think it just grazed the top of Jimenez's head as he was falling down, which is super unfortunate.
Sergova, I was saying again, like I think Juventus are getting a much better player than us, and I think we are going for a like less. I would say again, Nico Gonzalez didn't really have much last season, and if again, this is one of those signings like we don't know what we're getting, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can be a hit or it can be,
A
you
miss.
can say, a mess, exactly, another mess, because again we don't know what we're getting, to be honest, because Nico Gonzalez was Fiorentina, was very good. He was the main guy in that Fiorentina's team, and then he came to Juventus. Again, he became like let's say a second option. So we don't know what we're getting. The thing is, Nico Gonzalez has good experience. He's 27, and the good thing is we have let's say a depth in the right wing position. That's good to see. The second thing, again, I mean, like the profile is similar to Giuliano, like we've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
The profile is very similar to Giuliano, but I think his finishing is much better than Giuliano.
I
This
agree.
is where we might improve. Let's say some chances fell to Giuliano, and then maybe it's the same chance fell to Nico Gonzalez, and then maybe Nico Gonzalez can finish those chances. That's where we lack right now, actually. But yeah, that's good to see, because again, like when we sub off Giuliano, I don't know, like we don't really have a player in that position, and now we have a player in that position to come on in the second half. So that's good to see. But again, guys, we've talked about this a lot. So yeah, you guys can let us know your opinions in the comment section. Like, how much would you rate this Nico Gonzalez signing for Atletico de Madrid? Yes, in case you can go on with a brief on this one, and then we're gonna talk about the things which could
Other
have
reasons.
happened this deadline day.
Sure. Yeah, so we'll keep it brief. The only difference I think of Nico Gonzalez though is I, I think I said this at the start of the transfer window, which is like I don't necessarily view a dribbler as the solution because last season we didn't really have a dribbler because Lino wasn't doing great and Giuliano is not, one of the best dribblers in the world. But we were in contention for all three trophies quite comfortably. We get to the semi-finals of Champions League, we get cheated out of our quarterfinals, and then and then we were at the top of the league.
Semi final of Champions League.
No, I said semi-finals of Copa del Rey, sorry, and then
Ah,
cheated out to
okay.
the quarterfinals of Champions League, and then we were top of the league for a fair portion of the year actually. So it's not that we were bad last season. If anything, to the contrary, we were very good and we were rotating quite well. The problem though is certain positions were very lacking. right? So the midfield especially and the right wing, because Giuliano was our starting right winger, and the other option before Giuliano was there was De Paul, who's supposed to be in the midfield. So you see how that can kind of cause a lot of problems. So
But Nico Gonzalez actually he can play multiple positions. He can play as a striker. He
wing
can play
back,
as a midfielder as well. He can play both left wing and right wing as well. So that's
right?
good actually.
We've seen Nico Gonzalez in many positions in Stuttgart, in Juventus, in Fiorentina, in Argentina, right? So is he's a very versatile player. I don't think he is a star player per se. He was for Fiorentina, but what he does immediately offer us is a runner who can give you a lot of pace and somebody who's incredibly good in the air in comparison to what we have right now. We don't have anybody who's good in the air besides maybe Hanko, and that's kind of it actually on our agree. So if our centre back is our best option in the air, that's not great. Alvarez doesn't need to be good in the air. He's good enough as is. We don't really care about that. Giuliano is 5'8" or 5'9". I don't think he's gonna be good in the air. And Griezmann is always on the bench. So what it does lead though is if Ruggieri is making very good crosses on the left hand side, or Almada or Baena, whoever it is, you now have an actual outlet from the air with Nico Gonzalez on the right hand side. And it also means if Carlos Martin stays, which we're not necessarily sure, I think transfer window's closed. That does
He's staying. He's staying actually. He's staying, I guess.
okay. Then that does mean that we get to see the Carlos Martin Giuliano pairing probably in later in games, which is two players who are very fast, have really good connection with each other. Is a not the best comparison, but it's almost like in the later games in for Real Madrid in the like 2014-15 era, like eras where you as soon as you get tired legs, they put on Marco Asensio and Lucas Vasquez and their two wingers, and all of a sudden you have problems again. So maybe we could do something similar like that because Carlos Martin is also really him and Giuliano great pairing. They had a really good time in the academy in the B team, but then they never really got to play with each other properly since then. So I'd love to see it. We'll see. I think there's still a lot of holes in our squad. I don't think the academy will fill it. I'm really disappointed with the academy, but that's a topic for another day. But
I mean, like I don't know what's going on with
yeah,
Spina because again, I think Spina was something. I think Spina should be promoted to the first team because again, like it's not like you can't ignore the fact that like two teams want him,
hmm
especially like we're not talking about any like La Liga teams which need players, for example, like who fights relegation and everything. We're talking about the teams like who are in Europe, Barcelona and Real Betis. So I mean that's an eye opener. Like so you have someone in your academy like who is actually good, and then you're ignoring that fact, which is again you did the same thing like, with Amarovin, and then you
he
did the same thing with Santiago Marino.
he was on the bench
Um,
today for the B team, which again very confusing because he's very much clearly our best centre back right now. But let's see how that goes, or if it doesn't. In any case, let's talk about the other transfer rumors that we missed, like Galan.
Yes. Yeah. Let's just talk about Javi Garland. So Javi Garland almost took a flight to England to Nottingham Forest, but that didn't pan out because again there wasn't time for exchanging documents and everything. The transfer collapsed, and now we have Javi Garland as well. I would say like it's not really bad because again we have an option because I don't want to see David Hansko more in that left back position because I think for me like David Hansko as a centre back is much better as he is as a left back. So
Mhm.
it's good to have that kind of depth for Ruggieri in that position. So I don't mind Javi staying at all. But the fact that like the news when I saw the transfer fee that was 10 to 15 million euros for Javi Galan.
How
I mean,
that's a deal that you just take and you just don't look back. You just don't look
exactly,
back at all.
exactly. When I saw the transfer fee 10 to 15 million for Harry Galan, I was like, fuck. Like this deal collapsed. Like wow. because
I,
that was very easy money.
I am going to assume, for the most part, that he's probably only going to be here for 6 months because if he's trying to push for a leave now, you know what I mean?
But 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 we won't get 10 to 15 million in
Probably
January. I
not.
don't think so.
No. Because he
But
has
yeah,
a
I mean,
year
like
left on
yeah,
his deal. This would have been, you know?
exactly. I mean, but January, maybe we can have some signings for ourselves in January. Who knows? There's this one guy who has literally like, the first couple of games. This one guy has caught my eye. He's Argentinian as well, and this is one guy we can look for the future. Any guesses?
No, not really. There's a lot. There's a lot of young Argentines. Yes.
He's an Argentine centre back.
Argentine center back. Um, is he playing
He
Liga?
he he was playing in he was in Chelsea, and then he literally moved this summer to Germany.
Chelsea. Nah, I'm lost.
Okay, I'm talking about Aaron Anselmino. He was
Ah,
in Chelsea. He moved to Dortmund this summer,
yes, yes, yes,
and
yes.
what a game he had against Union Berlin.
He's a very
This
good
guy is
player.
only this guy is only 20 years old. This guy is Argentinian as well. I mean, this guy again. We should keep tabs on him. He's Argentinian. Come on, Argentino de Madrid. We already have 6 players
If we're not
in
gonna
our
treat
team.
Spina properly, and he's like 2 years younger, I don't see anything happening here. I want to be honest with you.
Again, I think like again, Dortmund is like the best place you can actually grow up. And within, I'm telling you, like this guy would like he'll be sold within a couple of years.
Cool.
I don't know, and his transfer market will value will go up.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is definitely the one for the future. I'm telling you right now, Aaron Anselmino, guys, keep that in mind. The name, keep that in mind. Aaron
I,
Anselmino, he's Argentinian.
I give up on trying to get young centre backs in this club. I That's something that will never happen. The last time we've had a young centre back was Lucas Hernandez, and that's like 2018,
That's true.
2017,
Wow.
long time ago.
That's a long time ago. True, true, true,
So
true. Wow.
I'm not expecting anything. We got Mourinho. We sold Mourinho. I never saw him
That's
play for
true.
Atletico in official.
But again, we have a buyback clause on him still.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I think we can get him back for 10 to 15 million. I don't know, like I saw it somewhere. I think we do have some
If you have
buyback
the
clause on him.
information I don't have, then great. I'll accept it. But as far as I know, we
Maybe,
don't.
maybe I read it somewhere. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe
Sure.
I think if I go for it, if I like start researching,
But you understand my
maybe.
position, right? Which is we could have
Yeah, that's true.
rejuvenated this back line.
Easily. I think like if Santiago Moreno in this team right now, like I would have been perfect. Like I would have been satisfied with the defense. I don't think we had to make any investment in defense right now with Santiago Moreno in the team, for sure. Because right now I feel like we
If
do
if,
need.
if instead of Molina we had Santiago Mourinho, I think I would have felt more comfortable with our backline squad depth, and we could have probably pushed
True,
for a midfielder or a striker,
true,
whatever it is that we need.
true,
So
true. Absolutely, and especially the fact that we could literally get him for 3 million, which is again like sometimes like the thing this club do like doesn't make sense at all. But again, guys, talking about this, we will do an episode of the transfer window where we'll talk about everything in detail. Maybe we'll have some guests as well. We'll talk about everything in detail. We'll talk about whether we had a good transfer window or we had absolutely a waste of a transfer window. We literally wasted money. So we're going to talk about in detail about this, and especially the fact that the deals we missed out on, if that was a bad thing to do.
mhm.
So right now, I think that's it for us. That's it from us for today. Do let us know your opinions on the Nico Gonzalez signing and the match against Alavés. And again, help us reach that 500 subscribers goal and share it with your friends. Let's grow this Atlético de Madrid community. And there you go. Anything you want to add, Saint Geeks?
Nothing for now, but hopefully we get after this international break back to good business, not just business, good
True.
business.
True, because we have Villarreal and Liverpool coming up. But yeah, until then, guys, enjoy this 2 weeks. No headaches, no anxiety issues. Relax, chill, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Okay, until then, Opa Atleti. Ciao, ciao.